Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M6. It's a Tier 6 American heavy tank. It's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka, and this one is under the command of marke12. Game on. Okay, this is the next development up from the T1 heavy tank. In fact, they were very similar. The only difference, really, the big difference, is the fact that the Mark M6 had a 90mm gun, which meant it could do 240 alpha, penetrate 160mm of armor with standard ammo, and with the APCR that went up to 243. So it's a much beefier version of the T1 Heavy. It's basically got the same armor profile though, so it's very much the same. It's got 101mm at the front of the hull, and 190 at the front of the turret. We only spotted an enemy tank up ahead, decided to take a shot at the, who was that, chappie? Oh, we got a hit! And a high roll at that for 270. Nice shot. Now the reason he didn't try and cut across at a diagonal is that this thing's got very weak side armor. So you don't want to let the enemy shoot at your sides. In fact, that's one of the reasons why the Americans never actually used this tank, or rather put it into action. They made 9 of them in total with different serial numbers, but they never put it into action because it was too vulnerable, especially if you were shooting at the side. It was too big, too high profile. Well, he actually did hit the armor on that MT25, but didn't get a pin. Oh, just missed him again. Very close. A20 as well. Oh! Now, I don't think he got that hit on the A20. Somebody else did. The shell looks as if it passed right between them. And the MT25, well, he's trying to use that little hill up in the corner at C1. Oh, he does get a hit on the T1, the Tiger 1 rather. And he got a high roll. And another high roll. And the guy's damaged, and he's out the game. First kill. Now, they started developing this tank in May of 1940. Oh, Black Prince, can't turn that one down. Oh, well, not so great accuracy at long range, but E25. Oh, well, he aimed ahead of where he thought it was going because it looked like it was going to move, and unfortunately missed it. But he got that one. 214, low roll. Okay, got another shot. Black Prince. He did get a hit, but it's a low roll, and the Black Prince is down. It's just too many targets he's firing at here. Okay, they started development work in May 1940. They standardized the design by 26th of May of 1942, and by then America was in the war. The thing was that the American armor, the Armor Corps, lacked any interest in actually building this thing during the interwar years because there wasn't any reason for it. But after the war started, they did have a reason to develop it, but they decided in the end the thing was too big. It had a lack of reliability, and therefore, the logistics would have been horrendous. So they decided not to put it into action. And instead, what they did is they put the money behind the Pershing and getting that into action, and that actually did pay off for them because the Pershing was more than a match for the Panther, whereas the M4 wasn't. So obviously the M4s were suffering, and then when the Pershing turned up, the 90mm gun made all the difference. Now, it's a cast hull with hydromechanical suspension. It's basically, as I said, a T1 heavy tank derivative. You've got a choice of 3 tanks when you start this line. You get 3 76mm guns, different types, and then of course the top gun, which is the 90mm, and that's the one that's really good. It does have reasonably good speed. 35 kilometers an hour for a heavy tank is not bad at this tier. He's landed in a tier 7 game though, so he's up against some serious opposition. But the good thing is that this tank does have a reasonably good fire rate. It's 6.71 seconds by the book, but he's got it down to 5.52. And for a 90mm round, that's not bad. Now the 90mm gun is actually quite good, according to the wiki. They say it's not so good at long range, but it does have a good effect at short range, as you've seen already. He's already racked up 1,259 hit points, and as I said, it does have a good rate of fire. The turret is well armoured as well. It's got a lot of armour at the front. As I actually said, it's 190.5mm at the front of the turret, so very, very strong indeed. And it's also got gun depression, 10 degrees of gun depression. So it is a ridgeline warrior, and if he's poking his turret above the ridgeline and that's all they can see, then they're not likely to get any good shots. Plus, of course, you can see there's no cupolas on this thing, which, well, there are cupolas, but they're flush, and that means it's very difficult for the enemy to hit a cupola. Now, he was spotted there, and I suspect it was somebody over on the west side of the map that saw him, and so long as he gets over this ridgeline, he should be okay. The only enemy Arty is an AMX-13 F3AM. He just fired at Rt-29 because, of course, that's a Tier 7 American heavy, and he obviously doesn't consider that there's any threat from marke12 at the moment. And that's a big mistake because Marke is a very good player, and so he should fear this one a lot. The bad thing about this tank is that being it's a derivative of the T1, it does have the same faults as the T1, which of course is it's so big it's an easy target for Arty. Oh, and that MT25, yes! Good shot. He actually got a low roll, 229, but he did hit the guy just at the right moment so that his teammate in the AMX-13 F3 can get the kill. Okay, got some tanks here. Stug, not looking at us. And that's an Amarak, but it wasn't for us. It was actually the T29 who got him. But we're homing in on the enemy. There's only two of them left now, the Basotto and, of course, the AMX-13 F3AM. And look at how many hit points marke12 still has. After doing nearly 2k of damage, he hasn't lost a single hit point. Not one. 2 marks of excellence on the barrel at the moment, but he's been working towards his third. There's the Basotto, but where is the enemy Arty? Oh, he's that way. He's the other way. Well, he's aiming at the Basotto because the Basotto's still alive. Oh, now he's lost some hit points. But the Basotto is out the game, and that's his second kill. And we know where the enemy Arty is now. He's just to the south of us, and there's not a lot he can do except blast us with one Arty round, and then he'll die. He could load the HE at the moment. The AMX-13 F3 is an open Arty, so the crew are on the outside, which means that there's more chance of damaging them and taking them out. It looks like the enemy AMX is actually headed south for the winter. He must be motoring, trying to get away from us. But of course, basically, there's nowhere to run to, because the moment he gets spotted, he's going to be flattened. He can't cut across the bottom of the map, because if he tries, he will be seen. And there he is, making a run for it. No chance, sunshine. One big hit, high roll. Can we get the kill? Oh, just missed it. Just missed it. Get another chance. Oh, and again he missed it. But the kill shot comes in from the T29 and says, that's enough. And it's all over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the third mark game for marke12 in the M6. He only got a third-class tanker out of that game, but his averages have been really, really good, which is why he got the third mark out of this one. You also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 8, a Fire for Effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And you can see that he actually did get 2 kills, but narrowly missed, actually missing out on that Confederate, because if he'd actually had a kill on that AMX-13F3 at the end, he would have lost that medal. He wouldn't have got it. If you look at the team scores, we can see that the highest damage in the game actually went to the E25 on the enemy team. 2,790 hit points of damage went to him. Second highest damage went to the Basotto, 2,313 hit points, and the third highest damage went to the T29 with 2,305, with Marky getting 2,304, just 1 hit point in it for third place on damage. Anyway, when it came to kills, we can see that a lot of players all sought the top mark, and the T29 M10 RBFM both got 3 kills on his team, and 3 kills went to the E25 and the Basotto on the enemy team. And we can see that Marky only got the 2 kills, but that put him alongside the AMX-13F3 on his own team, and also the Stugdai G on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, we can see that it's the T29 did the best. He was the only one to get over 1,000 with 1,131, but Marky was close to him with 921 base experience points, and 832 went to the M10 RBFM. Marky fired 23 rounds in that game. You get 52 rounds of ammo in total, so he didn't actually go over the halfway mark. 13 direct hits on the enemy and 11 penetrations. Damage of 2,304 hit points, of which 2,022 were at more than 300 meters. So, fair amount of damage at long range in this one, but Prokhorovka is one of those maps where it does actually help to shoot at long range, so the enemy doesn't see you and put holes in you. In fact, a lot of the shots he was taking at the start of the game were of the light tanks, which were milling around in front of him, and he was getting a chance to shoot at them, and the spotters were picking up the spotting damage. He did receive 1 hit. It was a penetration. That was from the Basotto, who actually managed to hit him in his big fat side. Yes, these things are pretty big. They're very big tanks, very fat tanks. Again, one of the reasons why the Americans didn't want to produce this thing and send it into battle, because it would be so easy to see on the battlefield and make them an easy target, easy kill. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 were killed, 214 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 25,476 credits from the battle, 30,000 personal missions payout, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, took away a profit of 20,964 credits profit. 921 XP, 5,528 from personal missions payout, and took away 6,910 experience points altogether. So that's his 11th third mark tank. And yes, we've got more videos coming featuring marke12 getting third marks, as well as Sly Meerkat, yes, because he's been at it, third marking tanks a lot. And so we will be bringing you those replays as soon as we can. Obviously, this is an Arty channel. Lots of people like to see the Arty replays, not the actual tank replays, although we do like to put up tank replays every now and then because, of course, some of them are very interesting because these are tanks that most people are going to play eventually, and it's nice to see how they handle so you know what to do. And, of course, one of the things about the M6 is you need to know that those 76mm guns, the first 3 they give you, before you actually get to the 90mm. It's a real pain trying to play those ones. Much better getting the 90mm. So if you can actually quickly hop over those 76mm, then it becomes more fun. Because otherwise it's basically just like another T1 heavy. And you've already experienced that to get to the M6 in the first place. You don't really want to go through the whole process of grinding out the same 76mm guns on the M6, the next in the line, because it's even longer that you've got to go before you get to the 90mm. So if you can hop over the 76mm, get into that 90mm, then you can do the sort of damage that Marky was doing here and have a lot of fun in this tank. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.